Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Chop to the Top series where I buy and sell my way up from a mega cheap car to an all-out supercar. In the last episode, I started with a total kitty of £1,300 and you saw me buy and restore this Peugeot 207cc for a total cost of £847, leaving the kitty with £453 in it. Well, I am pleased to say that I have now sold the Peugeot for a grand total of £1,600, earning a profit of £753 and boosting the total kitty and my budget for the next car to £2,053. So, what have I bought for car number 3? I give you this 2001 Daihatsu Terios SL, complete with factory fitted body kit. Now, to those of you who don't know what this is or are wondering why I would buy such a thing, allow me to give you some context. Where I'm based in rural England, the roads are super narrow and also, generally speaking, people don't have a lot of room for parking. So those factors combined with very wet and cold winters mean that these small, tough-built micro 4x4s are much sought after machines. For the benefit of my American audience, here's how the little Terios sizes up next to a Ram 1500. As a reminder, I had a total budget of a little over £2,000 to buy and improve this car, so what did it cost me? Well, I paid just £750 for this very honest little Terios without any major faults, and that is a bargain, especially as the seller included a small trailer in the sale. There are a host of small jobs requiring attention and lots of areas which need to be tidied up before I can move this one on, but realistically I should be looking at a resale price of anywhere between £1,500 and £2,000. First up, I'll give the car a quick clean before bringing it into the workshop and having a look at what needs to be done. So, jobs to do on the Terios. There are various marks and rubs on the paintwork all over. This is from a car cover. On the front bumper there is a scuff as well as a poor previous repair that I'll need to address. Both rear arches are showing signs of rust. I'll need to take the side skirts off to investigate this further. And the spare wheel cover needs a refurb. The rear light lenses are full of grime and dirt, as are all the window edges and panel gaps. There is some damage to the offside roof rail. This looks like maybe a tie down has rubbed through the paint. Either way, it'll need to be addressed properly. The wiper arms, both front and rear, are very sun faded, so they'll need a respray. The engine bay is really grotty. It looks like the waxsaw has started to attract dirt and sand and it's got stuck into there, so that one needs cleaning out properly. All four wheel arches are really dirty and full of mud. That's not a problem, I'll get the jet wash in there and get them cleaned out fully when I remove the side skirts. Inside, the fan speed control knob is missing. Aside from that, it's all pretty good. Everything is there, it just smells a little bit funky, so it needs a good clean. This windscreen scuttle needs some attention. Not only is it faded, it's missing all of its clips and it's not sitting right. There's some damage to the lacquer on the near side rear door. This is from a car cover that was fitted. It's obviously just rubbed away at the paint over the years. All in all, just a bunch of little jobs to do, so let's get on with it. The first thing to tackle is those grotty rear arches. This means removing both side skirts to get a better look at the area. This will also give me a good chance to clean up underneath them. I'm not being precious about the paintwork here. Obviously I'm going to respray after I've done any work that's required on these arches, so I'm going to let the jet wash take off any loose paint that it can. While I've got the car outside and I've got the jet wash going, it makes perfect sense to clean out the arches. As I said, they're pretty filthy, they need to be cleaned, so I'll do that now. So with that done, I can see what I'm dealing with on these rear arches. As you can see, this one's a little bit grotty. I'm going to have a tap and see if it needs any welding. To be fair, it seems to be solid enough. I'm going to get the wire brush on it anyway to clean it up, and we'll see if that throws up any issues. Take note of the state of the inner arch. Don't worry, they're going to get a fresh coat of stone chip as soon as this job is done, just in case I find any other issues. As expected, that wire brush has found some loose metal. It's fine, best to know about it at this stage, so I'll get rid of that, weld in a small repair patch, and we'll go from there. With that fresh metal welded in, that is the repair done. I'm going to do a bit of rust treatment before stone chipping the area. Before I can lay down any stone chip, I need to mask up the surrounding area. Once again, I'm not being too fussy here, in that I'm not worried about having a harsh edge where the stone chip will finish. That's because this will be hidden behind the side skirt and won't be seen. It's just to protect this area that I'm doing this job. I'm using a white stone chip here, so it acts as a base for the silver top coat that I'm going to put on next. I haven't bothered to protect the inner arch from overspray, that's because the inner arch will be getting covered in stone chip shortly. So this side looks a lot better, it looks like just surface rust. Hit it with the wire brush and fortunately there's no welding required. So the rear arches have had a good inspection, there's no damage to be repaired, so it's straight on to stone chip to not only protect them, but to make them look a lot cleaner and tidier. In order to complement the smart new rear arches, everything around it, all the ancillary items are going to be shot with satin black, just to freshen them up a little bit. So quite typically this car has got some damage to the front bumper. Weirdly it looks like it's been repaired in the past but not very well and then scuffed again. So I'm going to have to take it back and do it all over again, which is fine, I can get a better result that way anyway. This area is going to need a small amount of filler, just to make sure it's a proper repair. Aerosol paints get a bad rap, but to be fair, on small repair areas like this, they're the perfect tool for the job. They keep costs low, and when applied properly, they leave a really good finish. This is the finish straight after the aerosol clear has dried. This is yet to be wet sanded and polished. Wet sanding leaves the new clear coat dull. This is totally normal. This is the end result. For just a few pounds worth of materials, we've achieved a job that looks like it could have gone to a body shop and cost hundreds of pounds. This damaged roof rail looks like it's been damaged by a tie down or something similar. It's a little bit indented, so it'll need cleaning and filling before paint can be applied. If you enjoy my videos, or if they've helped you at all, please do me a favour and subscribe to this channel. I'm new to YouTube and it would give me a huge boost. One of the problems that came to light when removing these skirts is that on both sides the rearmost bracket had completely rotted through and was no longer attached. I'll make a new pair from scratch just to mount the skirts properly and to save them wagging or having any undue gap. Although these aren't original Daihatsu parts, they'll do the job well and they're protected with bed liner, so they won't rust out quite as quickly as the originals did. So all that work just to achieve this, but I think you'll agree it looks a bit fresher than it did before. Just a reminder, not only was the scuttle completely sun faded, it was missing all of its original clips, therefore making it hang loose. First step to removing this is to get the wipers out of the way. This suits me because the wiper arms are pretty faded as well and they could do with a touch up. With the scuttle out of the way, it's a perfect opportunity to clean up the metal behind it. Lots of leaves and debris get trapped in here, so it pays to clean it while you got the chance. So here is our rather tired and faded scuttle in all its glory. This silver thing you can see is actually a plasterboard fixing, and it was the only thing holding the scuttle in place as all the original clips have been lost. That will of course be removed now. Now that the part has been thoroughly cleaned, you can see how faded it truly is. This is fine, it's a black plastic part, it's nothing that a bit of heat gun treatment won't sort out. To put it into context, here is a half and half shot. The left side has been heat gunned, the right is yet to be done. As is often the case, the rear bumper here has suffered some damage over the years. Undoubtedly this will be from people loading and unloading the boot, resting things on the paint, etc. Now I could be really fussy here and fix and fill all of the little individual marks, making for a perfectly smooth part, but as this is largely hidden by the door, which is shut most of the time, instead I'm going to clean the area and respray it as it stands. I need to remove the rear light lenses to clean them anyway, so I might as well do that at this stage, allowing me to mask around the gap cleanly. I'll also take this opportunity to clean out the recesses where the lights sit. And of course these will get a proper clean shortly as well. As you guys know, I'm all about keeping overheads low in order to maximise profits. But what I'd really like to know is, what is the most profit you have made from a car in the past? Let me know in the comments. Now, to properly clean out the rear light units ahead of refitting them into the bumper next to the new paintwork. So here is the end result. As I said, I could have been fussier by filling some of the damage, but as this part is rarely seen, I think you'll agree it does the job. Now that the engine bay has been cleaned, the front slam panel does let the team down slightly. It's got rusty fittings and a bit of rust creeping under the paint in a place or two. It definitely needs to be sorted. In addition to respraying the slam panel itself, fittings such as these radiator brackets have to be sorted, as they catch the eye very easily. Whilst I put the bonnet catch mechanism away from the car, I may as well give this a good clean out as well to ensure that it doesn't seize for the future owner. And there it is, slam panel done, and it finishes the engine bay perfectly. So whilst I have the car here, I may as well try and refurb this spare wheel cover. I could go and buy a replacement, but as this is here, and for a few pounds worth of materials, I'll give it a try. I've opted to use a standard matte black aerosol paint as a base here, followed by a top coat of pickup truck bed liner. That is because it's a very tough paint, it's black, it's neutral, and it will look good in this application. As mentioned before, a lot of the gaps and crevices on this car are full of moss and dirt. I don't think it's ever been jet washed properly in its life before. I'll take this opportunity to give it as thorough clean as I can ahead of bringing it into the workshop for a full polish. Before I get started with the interior cleanup, it's time to replace that missing fan speed knob. Right, well that was easy. Now, onto the cleanup. In fairness, this interior really isn't that bad. If you subscribe to this channel, you'll have seen much worse. It just smells a bit funky, so it's a case of stripping it out and giving it a full, proper clean. So, with the seats out of the way, this is what we're left with. Not bad at all. With the interior now removed, I've got a blank canvas, so I'll work from the top down and start with the headliner. Next up is the dash, centre console and other remaining plastics. Now it's the turn of all 4 door cards. First, they get a shampoo. Next, they get worked with a power brush. Finally, a wet vac. Before I can shampoo the carpets, they have to be vacuumed thoroughly. I'll do this in a 2-stage process. First of all, a dry vacuum, followed by going over with the drill brush and vacuuming again to remove some of the more stubborn dirt. And here is the end result. Not only does the carpet look younger and fresher, also smells a hell of a lot better. Finally, it's time to tackle the seats. Naturally, the seats see a lot more traffic than any other part of the interior and therefore can hold a lot more dirt and therefore smells. Using the drill brush allows me to work the shampoo into the material a lot more thoroughly, and therefore when I wet back, hopefully remove a bit more dirt than would otherwise be achieved. I'd really like to know what you guys want to see next. What car should I be looking for car number 4? What would make for an interesting addition to the channel? What do you want to see me flip? So this is what was inside the seats. Lovely. The final stage of the little Terios's transformation is a machine polish. I've got over all the highlights of the car just to make sure it's got a uniform, clean shine to the paintwork. Here you can see that dull clear coat. This is from where a car cover has rubbed away over the years. This is about to be tackled with a machine polish, and it will come up like new. And that's it, the Terios is finished. So, what did it cost me? As you know, I paid £750 for this car. The spend was low. Paint and materials and various cleaning consumables cost just £85. Scuttle clips and fan speed control knob came to £20, bringing the total spend to just £105. Therefore, my total spend here was £855. I've advertised the car for £1,995. If you subscribe today, you'll be kept up to date with how the sale goes. As soon as this sells, of course, I'll be on to car number 4. Stay tuned for that. Until next time, thanks very much for watching. See you later.